Hi, everyone. My name is Renata Gibson, and I am one of the librarians here on campus at Northwest Vista College. I'm here today to talk to you about how to cite your art resources. There's lots of ways that the library can help you in making a works cited list, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So what I would like to do first is actually start sharing my screen. So let me go ahead and do that. So here we are at the NVC homepage. In order to make it to the library, of course, you need to click on menu and then go to library, and then you're taken to the library homepage. Now, in my previous video, I did show you how to access all of the art research resources through the research guides. So I'm going to show you that again. If you click on research guides, click on art and art history, and on the art guide, you will see here is the general art research guide that I showed you in my last video. The citing page is right here. Everything that you need to know and how to cite things correctly for any kind of art research that you're doing, using Oxford Art Online, using ArtStore, using JSTOR, using any of the databases that you have at your disposal. There's helpful tips here down the middle. And one of the ways that makes your life so much easier in terms of citing is the fact that you have access to citation software called Noodle Tools. Now, Noodle Tools is something that the library subscribes to. So it's a paid service, which means that it's kept up, it's always updated, it's run by actual people. So there's a way that ensures that the way that it's creating your works cited lists are correct, easy to use, and something that you're going to really find useful when you are making any of your works cited pages. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this link in this upper right corner. Here we have a link to Noodle Tools. This is the login screen. Now you do need to set up an account to use Noodle Tools. So for those of you that don't have an account, you click on register right here. And you would just quickly fill out this form. So it automatically defaults to I am a student, which all of you are. The next thing it's asking you is your expected year of graduation. Make it at least a couple of years from now, even if you're not sure when that date is. The next thing is you have to choose your personal ID. Now this is your username, so make it whatever you like, and you can check the availability. Of course, a password that you will remember. For security reasons, it wants the last 4 digits of your phone number and then your initials in case you need to give that information to get your login information back. Then it asks you for an email. Of course, you can use your student email, but you do not have to. You can use any email you like. We go back here. I'm going to go ahead and sign in just so you can see kind of the end result. So once I sign in, you can see that I have 3 projects listed here. These are all ones that I've worked on this year. It does divide up your works cited by year, so by academic year. So I have created 3 this year. If I want to look back and see what I did last academic year, I can look at that as well. I do want to show you one that I think will show you kind of the benefits of using this citation software. So this is what it looks like as you're working on it. Okay, this is not what we want it to look like when we turn it in, obviously. The way that you do that is you actually go up here to export and print, and it actually sends it to Word, perfectly formatted, ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Click submit here. It actually has downloaded it into this corner in the bottom. I may need to manipulate the screen share for one moment. So I'm waiting for the document to come up. Let me stop sharing for just 1 second, and then I will be able to show you. So this is what it looks like once it sends it to Word, which is amazing. It has done all the formatting for you. It's put the works cited at the top. It's done the hanging indent. It's alphabetized your sources. It's also put things in italics, done all the punctuation, just made sure that you are able to submit this works cited list in correct MLA format, because MLA is what you'll be using for any kind of art research. So let's go back here. Let me start sharing one more time. So we'll go back into Noodle Tools, and here we are again. Now, what I would like to show you, I'm going to go back to my projects here, is how to actually add a source. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to have Noodle Tools open and add sources as I go. So as I'm doing my research, I'm adding my sources, and it's amazing because then when you're done with your project or your presentation or your paper, you're also done with your works cited list. So the way you always start is by going into this upper right corner where it says New Project. Okay, so I'm going to click that. Then it asks you here in this little sidebar, it wants you to give your project a title. Now, this is not for any purpose. It's not going to show up anything that you turn in. It's purely so that you know what it is. So you could name it whatever you like. I'm going to name it Art Research 2022. The next thing is you choose the style that you would like to use. Now they have the 3 most used citation formats listed. So MLA, APA, and Chicago. You are going to be using MLA for any of your art citations. The next thing is it asks for the citation level. It automatically is defaulting to advanced, which is college level citation. So that's what you want to leave it as. And then you click submit. Now it gets added to my list of projects here. So here it is at the top. I'm going to go ahead and click on the title. And here we are taken to the page where you actually are able to start adding citations. Now, there's nothing in here yet because we haven't added anything. Now, the process to add a citation is you go into this upper right corner where it says New Source. The very first thing it asks you is where are you getting it from? Where is it? So if you're using any of the art research databases like Oxford Art or JSTOR or ArtStore, you're going to choose database. Okay. If it's a website like a museum website or an artist gallery website, you're going to use website. If you actually have a book in your hand, a print book, of course, you would choose print or in hand. Okay, let's go ahead and choose database just to have that be our example. Once you click on where it is, the next question it asks you is what is it? So what are you citing? And here is this wonderful list of every possible thing you would ever want to cite. If you are citing an image from one of the databases, which for art research, you're always going to have at least one image, you would choose work of visual art from this list. So I'm going to go ahead and check that. Now we are taken into the screen where you are asked to fill in the pieces of your citation. Okay. Now remember, when you're in the databases, you always have all the pieces of your citation. For an image, you're going to have the artist name, the title of the work, the date it was completed. You're going to know which database you are in. So the very first question it's asking you is what's the name of the database? So maybe you type in ArtStore, or maybe you start typing in JSTOR. Or maybe you are in another database. They are all entered in here. Okay. If you are not sure which database you're in, you are easily able to come back to the library homepage, send us a chat right here. We can answer your question right away. Okay. So just know that we are just a click away in terms of any kind of help. The only trick is the library has to actually be open. So it can't be at 1 in the morning. So the next thing it's asking you for is the URL. Then it's going to be the most recent date of access. Then we go down here to where it's asking you for the artist name, the title of the artwork. And again, all of this is given to you in the databases, the year it was created, and then you just click save and it gets added to your works cited page. Okay. Now another, if we go back to the news source and we click database, and maybe we want to be citing a journal article, same process, okay, except that Noodle Tools is really trying to help you make sure you know what you're looking at. So you're going to see this screen whenever you click on a different type of source where it's saying, are you sure that you're looking at a journal article? And it's going to give you all the criteria that make it a journal article. If we click continue, we're taken to the page. Again, same kind of questions, name of database, URL or DOI, most recent date of access. Here you're able to put the article authors. There only is one field open right now, but if you have more than one author, you can add a contributor. Here we go, article title. Some of these fields you will leave blank, and that's okay. Sometimes you're not going to have an English translation of the article's title. Sometimes you're not necessarily going to have the page numbers. You're always going to have the name of the journal. Sometimes you'll have a volume and issue. Sometimes it'll just be a volume. Sometimes it'll be just a month or a season listed as the publication date, a day, maybe a year, okay? Many times you're not going to have anything in this section titled series. You're basically just trying to fill this out as best you can using the information that you have at your disposal, okay? But just know that when you're in the databases, you're going to have all of the citation information. You will just need to enter it in field by field here. And again, this is a very quick intro to Noodle tools. So please don't hesitate as you start working to reach out to us for any kind of help, okay? I would like to go back to my art research guide here. Remember this is going to be really useful for you because right down the middle here, there's helpful tips on how to cite things in Noodle tools. Some of the most common art research resources. There's tips for how to make sure that you're entering them in correctly in Noodle tools. Another really helpful link is this Noodle tools channel on YouTube. It actually has really great short videos on how to get started, how to do things in Noodle tools. So just know that that is an option as well. And just know that you are not in this alone. Okay, this is something you can use this research guide here. Okay, and you can always reach out to the librarians here at NBC. We are happy to help. So I'd like to just remind you that you are not alone, that you can always get help. And that learning how to do citations is something that we all struggle with at one point or another, but we can definitely find ways to help you. Okay, so thank you for your time today and good luck.